Hey everyone, it's Julie Saillant. How are you? Thank you for being here. Let me just turn up my volume. Thank you so much for being here. I am your spiritual teacher. I'm thrilled to be here with you today. And this is for all signs. Let me just fix this. Hold on one second here. Hold on. Okay, so welcome back. I am your spiritual healer. My name is Julie Saillant. I am here to help you find your gifts, get in alignment, and be legendary, help you fulfill your soul contract, the reason that you're here on planet Earth. And I'm also an animal communicator. So just a quickie, if you've never been here before, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We are growing the channel, and all the information to work with me will be in the link below. I am a lot of different things, but I try not to go too much with labels, so I'll just stick with spiritual teacher. And the Brave Academy just opened a couple of weeks ago. I am super, super proud of this. I've had it. It was given to me about 5-6 years ago, and it just opened. And so I'm teaching it with another colleague who's super, super gifted. So you get 2 teachers. And this is decades and decades worth of enlightenment and transformation that we're going to be giving you and downloading to you. You'll still have to do the work. But what we do, I can't talk tonight, what we do is we help you ramp up quickly, right? So we teach on manifestation, and that's just not manifestation for you personally, it's also for your business. You don't have to be super spiritual to take the Brave Academy. This is for anybody and everybody. We're doing things completely different that nobody's teaching this stuff right now. But we teach on manifestation of what you'd like personally. Also, if you'd like to bring in the right clients, because we know as business owners, no matter what you do, you need the right clients, not just any clients. Abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset, accessing your gifts, learning how to get downloads, bringing you into alignment, of course, and transformation, which is how to talk to your guides, how to develop a good foundation, and then things that escalate, such as how to disarm people that are coming at you, how to educate them, calm them down, and find common ground with them, as well as how to hold your frame, which is super important, especially if you're spiritual, and especially if you're someone that identifies as a healer or empathic or intuitive. You're probably very much a people pleaser with very low boundaries, and that's what we help you with. So just wanted to put that out there. We have a couple more slots open. This is truly transformational. And the application fee will all be linked below. So today I decided not to do a number based for this video. If you're new to the channel, I work with numerology, and it's all about the numbers, what number you are versus your zodiac sign. And this time I was flipping through some of my old notes the other day, and I saw and heard the word wounded healer. And for some reason, I just stopped and I thought, that did not sit well with me. Now I know what it is, and I'll bring you through what it is, how it works. But I really thought about this for a minute. I was like, wounded healer. Now, if you look at it from the outside, this means that, and I would submit to you that you could say healer, you could put anything in there. You could put wounded entrepreneur, you could put wounded person, you could put wounded intuitive, you could put just wounded human, right? We're all wounded. We've all been wounded, and it will continue to happen in the future. We all get hurt, okay? But the thing is, when you're talking about a wounded healer, that's something completely different. The thought of the wounded healer or person is that if I've encountered a wound and gone through something and I've learned from it, then obviously I have hopefully gone through the pain, let it go, and now I'm able to help you, right, through your pain. In other words, I can say, I know where you are, I've been there myself, let me help you through this. Like I always say, if I've fallen into a pothole 5 times and hurt myself, and you're standing in front of the pothole, I am going to damn well try to make sure that you do not fall in and hurt yourself. Because if I can save you from that pain, and I'm allowed to, then of course I want to do it. So this is so popular that's actually an archetype, okay? Wounded means hurt, injured, scarred, damaged, And it can be also giving offense to distress, upset, miserable, trouble. And I thought to myself, this is the definition of wounded. Who wants to be identified with that? Morbid, mortified. Do you want to be identified as that you're mortified, that you're scarred, that you're damaged, that you're hurt, right? That you're upset all the time, you're miserable, you're troubled, sad. This is what's in Wikipedia under wounded, right? Versus, this is the way I'd like to flip it, from wounded healer to victorious healer, or victorious person, or victorious human, or victorious entrepreneur, right? Whatever that is. Well, victorious means that you won a victory. You're triumphant, moral harmony, and a sense of fulfillment. Which one of those would you like to be associated with? I personally would like to be associated with victory over wounded, because if I am wounded, I don't want to be wounded for long, right? So this is part of your soul contract. This is what a lot of people don't know. You signed up for everything that you experience here on planet Earth, right? Whether you remember it or not. And in each lifetime, you're supposed to learn certain lessons. And a lot of time they're continuing lessons from before, right? But this is part of your soul contract. So what I would submit to you is, if this is true, and it's part of your soul contract, is this collapsing around you, this woundedness collapsing, making you sad, upset, distressed, miserable, right? Or has it shifted to guide and heal you and others? And I'm hoping that it's the second part, because I have learned how to take pain and shift it into rocket fuel. And it's part of my makeup, right? I guess I will surrender, or I will be down, but then never quite 100%. You know, I'll get close, but I won't give up all the way. So the thing is, if you can't understand your pain, you can't heal. And if you can't heal, you can't help others. Because when you're in pain, right, whether it's physical, emotional, energetically, spiritually, it's difficult to help other people. I can tell you from experience, like if you've ever had a migraine, and I'm not talking about a lightweight migraine, right? I've had migraines where I lose a day in my life and I have to lay in a dark room for 12 hours and it's awful. You know, you're sick, but you can't move. And you just, nothing helps. It's like a 12-hour type of thing. I don't even like to think about it. But that's something where you're in so much pain that you can't help anyone else because you're so depleted, right? So for you to help someone else, no matter what you do, no matter what your business is, you need to be at 100%, 98%, pretty high up there, right? So you've got to move through your pain so that you can help others with your services or whatever it is you do in this world, right? So what is the difference between coping with your pain and dealing with it? And I would say to you that coping is, I know what it is, and I'm going to just like let it run its course, and I'm not going to try to make it better. And it can be painful. Your pain can be painful, right? But when you can deal with it and identify it and see what's happening, see what the wound is, and then actively realize it and let it go, and in its place comes rocket fuel, motivation, joy, and gratitude, right? And abundance, that's totally worth it. And that's a totally different thing than hanging on to pain. And side note here, for all of you that are empathic and intuitive, especially the master numbers, we are very prone to holding on to other people's pain and stuff. So I really would ask that you try to recognize and compartmentalize what is yours and what is not yours. Because either way, no matter whose it is, you want to release it, but especially if it's not yours. You know, we're only meant to carry the things that we're supposed to carry, which is our own stuff, not other people's stuff, right? That's their stuff, their soul contract, so that they can learn from their pain and move forward, right? So your wounds can point towards your gifts, okay? But first, they must be released and then changed and go into the rocket fuel. So if you hold on to the pain, it owns you, and you don't want that. So let me talk a little bit about I made some notes here for you guys, because this is really important. I would like to read to you what I found on the internet about this. And let me just bring this up real quick. You can still see me. Okay, so the wounded healer. In Greek mythology, the god Chiron was the wisest of the cantors. He was wounded by an arrow from Hercules that was tipped with blood from Hydra. Because of Hydra's blood, the painful wound would not heal. As he was an immortal god, the wound did not kill him, so he roamed the earth healing others. Chiron was later transformed into a star, and the star Chiron represents the wounded healer in astrology, right? Plato described the idea of a wounded healer in medicine. He said the most skillful physicians are those who have suffered from illness, right? So the idea of a wounded healer exists across multiple cultural and spiritual contexts, including shamanism. Now, this is very important. So Carl Jung was a psychiatrist and contemporary of Sigmund Freud, and he drew on the concept of the archetype to describe reoccurring and universal mental themes and instinctive patterns of behavior. And some of these he linked to ancient mythology. For example, the ancient Greek Apollo and Dionysus, I hope I'm saying that right, a representative of the introvert and extrovert archetypes. So he associated Chiron with the archetype of the wounded healer who uses their own woundedness to promote healing and empathic understanding, right? Makes perfect sense. This would require that the healer be able to acknowledge their own wounds and have made substantial progress in their own recovery. Wounded healers are able to walk alongside the client, the patient, rather than acting as their superior, and they're careful about disclosing what they've been through because it may promote hope for recovery. So just to let you know, it's a pretty big deal, right? The wounded healer. But here's what I want to submit to you. I don't want to be a wounded healer. I want to be a victorious healer, right? Because yes, I can understand where you are if I've been in your situation, but I don't want to stay in the energy, right, of being wounded, because that doesn't serve me. Once you understand and identify your pain, figure out what it is, and learn how to release it, you are miles ahead of other people. Because you want to try and keep your vessel, this body, and your energetic field as clear as possible. That's why they always say, sage, stay grounded, meditate, do whatever you've got to do. But actively, I would like to include actively release this back up into the heavens with love. And I just simply say, I'd like to take out anything that's not mine, right? Any pain, anything that's not mine, anything that's not serving me, right, to my highest good, any negative or stuck energy, I release this back up into the heavens. And I ask Archangel Michael to come and just to slice through that, break the bond, because whether you know about it or not, because a lot of times you'll have bonds that you may not even know about. Somebody else, tried to connect with you and you don't even know about it, but it's not for your highest good, okay? So how do we move past this, right? You're saying, well, that's all good, Julie, but how do I change? Okay, first, number one, identify your pain, okay? Heal thyself, right? So you can't help others because you can see things that they can't. No one can see their own stuff, not all of it. That's why we need others in our lives to say, hey, you're doing this. Hey, let me help you out of that, right? So identifying it and then letting it go, learning to let it go, right? And just exactly what I just said. I realize that this is not for my highest good. It's not serving me. So I just want to release it back up into the heavens with love. There's no malice. There's no anger, nothing. We just release it. I pull it out like this, which I've shown you guys before, and I just release it. Anything that's negative or stuck, that's not mine, I release it up into the heavens. Secondly, I want you to think about what gifts have come from this pain, right? Because if you think about it, artists do their best work through their pain as they're working through it, or just after it's over. Think of all the love songs that you've heard, right? A lot of them, the most beautiful songs, stem from somebody going through something really dark and traumatic that wasn't fun. But then when you're listening to it, you say, oh my gosh, this person totally gets where I'm at, right? This person understands me. Why? Because they've been where you are right now. And then you hearing that, you click in, you're like, oh, this person gets me. It's the same thing with healers, with coaches, whatever you do, right? So once you've identified the pain and you've released it, you want to ask yourself, where does it come from, right? And then how can I use this to push myself forward as rocket fuel? So how can you turn this into positive energy, right? And to propel you past your old beliefs, your old thought patterns, and into abundance. And what I would suggest to you is that when you're in pain, that's also a scarcity mindset. And we want to flip you from scarcity mindset from it's I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough friends, I don't have enough connections, whatever the case may be, to an abundant mindset, which is a growth mindset, which is I have all the time in the world. I went through this just today. I had a call tonight and I was running late for it. I made it on time, just made it, but I hadn't set the clock in my car, right? It was on my watch, but I didn't realize it. So, I'm like, I'm going out and doing my thing. And then all of a sudden I'm like, uh-oh, what? I thought I had an hour and it turns out I only have 20 minutes and there's traffic and all this stuff. And I made it on time, but it was a close call. Not that the world would have ended, but what I'm saying is that stuff happens a lot, right? And we put all this pressure on ourselves. And what I was thinking was, oh my gosh, the day's almost over and I haven't done anything of what I wanted to do business-wise. I was doing other things, right? So I don't have enough time. I say that a lot. I don't have enough time. There's not enough time in a day. I'm sure you've said that too. I don't have enough time. I have all these things to do. How am I going to get them done? And then I stopped myself and I said, wait, Julie, wait. Don't do that. That's a scarcity mentality. You have all the time in the world to do what you need to do. Because knowing you, knowing me, I will find a way. It is 11 o'clock right now, and I'm making a video. It's okay, I'm a night person, it's okay, right? You'll find a way. So I recognized that I was in a scarcity mindset of I don't have enough time, I don't have enough this, blah, blah, blah. I said, stop. We're gonna move to abundance and growth. There's all the time in the world. How about this one? The universe is supporting me. I'm always supported. Right? That's how things come to you. That's how you get in a flow state. That's how you stay in alignment. And that's when people or things that you desire come to you. You don't have to grab them. They come because you're in flow. And a big part of that is trusting the universe, which I could do a separate video on because that's a huge one. But trusting yourself and trusting the universe coupled with a growth mindset, game over. In your favor, right? So always think there's always enough time, enough money, enough love, enough happiness, enough of anything that you need. There's plenty of it, okay? But what you need to do is the question was, how can you use this and make it into positive energy? The way that you do that is you build a picture in your mind. And this is very real, okay? This is where manifestation, this is what we teach in the Brave Academy, so I'm not going to get too deep into it, but this is what happens. To manifest correctly, you need to feel the emotions and act and know that it's already happened, right? Because your brain doesn't know the difference. So I always use the example of a Bugatti or a Lamborghini. It's one thing for me to talk about it and hand you the keys and you're like, oh, awesome. But then if you don't move farther with that thought process, your brain goes, yeah, well, we know that's fake. It's just an exercise. And you just leave it alone and it doesn't help you in the long run. Versus, I'm like, you got that car in your mind, the Bugatti or the Lambo, whatever it is. Awesome. Close your eyes. Now I'm going to hand you the keys. And I want you to picture your hand out. I'm giving you the keys, right? And I want you to feel the keys. Then I want you to look at them and look at the logo, right? And then it basically, you click the button, the door opens. Whoa. And now you get into it and you sit in it and you feel the leather and you look at the colors. Your hands are on the steering wheel. You know what I'm saying? You get the message, right? I can go on and on with this. But what you're doing is you're experiencing it as if it's happening right now and it's real. And because you add color and the realness of it, right? The emotions that you're feeling inside, holy hell, I've wanted this my entire life and I finally have it. Yes, right? You can do this for anything at all. Finding the right partner, having the right business, whatever it is, bringing in gifts, right? Once you do this, your brain doesn't know the difference. And that's when you add the gratitude and your brain thinks it's real, it's already happened. And that's when you claim it, right? So going back to what does it have to do again with the wounded healer? I would rather be the victorious healer. I've already experienced the pain. I've let it go. I've moved through it, but I'm not going to forget how painful it was and how stuck I felt. And I don't want to feel that way again. So I'm going to use that pain to propel me forward with rocket fuel towards my success, because I'm going to say to myself, I never want to feel that again. And I want to make the most of my time, because that took time away from my life in a negative way that I can't get back. And sometimes it's physical. You have a down day, you don't feel good, you're laying on the couch. Hey, you're sick, it happens. But you can use that as energy, positive energy, to propel you forward. So back to, if I could ask you a question, would you like to be wounded all the time? Doubt it. Or would you like to be victorious? You're the victorious healer, the victorious artist. You're the victorious human, right? Victory. You've won a victory, right? What does that mean? Triumphant, right? Harmony, a sense of fulfillment, happiness. You're victorious. You won. That's what you want. So you can use all of this in your personal life. You can use it in business, and I would encourage you to. And I'd like to ask you, do you identify with the wounded healer archetype, right? Take some time and think about, how does this look going forward as fuel for me and for others, right? How can I learn from this? And also, how can I be grateful for it? Because I promise you, if this is happening in this life and you don't fix it, it'll happen in the next life. And a lot of times we have to go through this multiple lifetimes because we don't remember until later on. And I don't want that for you. And I don't want that for me either. So I hope this helped you. I think all of you are amazing. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for watching. I so appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And please leave me a comment, because I respond to all of them. And don't forget about the Brave Academy. We can help you move through anything. It doesn't have to be spiritual. It can be, but it's for your highest self and your growth. And it will transform your life. We're here to help you win, basically. All right, guys, thank you so much. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.